if we do exercise, we have found the closest thing to the fountain of youth, because the better we feel, the more we can do, the more we can engage in the fullness of life. And exercise is something that is very doable. And if you have trouble with it, that's what I want to show people, is that if you're sitting down, that's fine.
Welcome to Zestful Aging, where I interview thoughtful, inspiring, and influential guests who are making their mark on the world, and they're contributing to the common good. And making your mark, big or small, is creating a legacy, and it's one of the proven ways we can age with vibrance and energy. And Zestful Aging podcast is my legacy. I'm your host, Nicole Christina, psychotherapist and fellow Zestful Ager, and our lovely music is courtesy of the lovely Jodi Banker, who is a previous guest on Zestful Aging. Find out more at jodibanker.com. And if you'd like to find out more about this podcast, my web courses, and other offerings and freebies, hop on over to zestfulaging.com. I know that everyone is feeling really stressed and anxious right now. We're all unsettled and feel out of control. So I created a free download for you for maintaining mental health based on my 30 years as a psychotherapist. Just go to zestfulaging.com and it is all yours. Well, I've got my little loyal Jack Russell Sparky. I just took him swimming, so he's wet and he's curled up right by my side as always. So let's begin. We have a wonderful interview for you today. And if you followed me, you know that I believe exercise should be joyful and fun and not a punishment for eating. Anything with boot camp in the name makes me want to run for the hills, because I think life is hard enough, especially right now. And sometimes my walks are just about taking in the natural beauty. Even in Syracuse winters, there's always something beautiful to notice. And today's guest is the queen of joyful exercising. Her techniques are used in prominent healthcare facilities, including Kaiser Permanente, Scripps Clinic, and the Mayo Clinic. They offer her fitness alternative. A fractured foot forced Jodi Stolove to conduct her dance and aerobic classes from a chair. And the chair dancing fitness concept was born. Creativity born of necessity resulted in her developing unique seated fitness programs combining the pleasure of exercise, dance, and music. And while she sat down to bring exercise to meet the needs of anyone wanting to embrace exercise, the fitness industry took notice, and she has been featured in more news outlets than I can name. And suffice it to say that her program has really caught on. Welcome to the show, Jodi.
Thank you. I think I like my new title you gave me.
The queen of joyful exercise.
I may have to use that now.
All right. I love it. I love it. And you have other titles. For example, I understand that when you were a performer and a dance professor, and you were in some movies and TV, and you actually trained Joan Rivers and were on the Days of Our Lives as a dance teacher.
I've got this big smile, and it's just really fun, joyful to think of those exciting experiences that happened because I was dancing and being me, and I would get asked, hey, you do a really nice tango. Could you come on the set of Days of Our Lives and be our tango
consultant?
So I was the cruise director on the show that taught a tango class, and I had to flirt with the star, and I was like, okay, but that's like not very professional, but okay, it's a TV show, I'll flirt. So it was great fun, and I trained the dancers. And then the lambada story. Do you remember when lambada was popular? It was a real, like, lots of shaking of the hips and done very closely to this fabulous Brazilian music.
I'm not sure I do.
Oh, I'm gonna have to tell you what movie to watch then.
Okay, please.
So Joan Rivers and Alex Rico were the stars, and my dance partner at the time and I were asked to come on the set, make sure that they could dance the lambada, and then we had to create a nightclub scene where everybody was doing the lambada. And of course, in showbiz they give you about 3 hours to make everything work. So I did some very close dancing with Joan Rivers. And then when I was working at QVC selling my fitness DVDs, she was also selling, and we ran into each other and had such a good reminiscence and laugh together.
Is she as funny as we think she is or was?
Yes. And sweet and nice too.
Really?
I found her I did. I found her very, very warm, and really, some people engage you and you feel good about you, and that's the person I strive to be. I found her like that.
Wow, that's really interesting to hear. So you've had many, many chapters because you've your technique has been embraced in some pretty prominent healthcare facilities. So you've got that part. You've got some of the sales that you've done through QVC and other outlets, and then you had this sort of 15 minutes of fame, or maybe even more, when you were asked to consult in movies and TV.
Well, yes. And again, since you are telling about some of my fun, exciting moments, the Today Show was probably way up there. And sometimes things happen. Again, in my way of thinking, if you show up completely as who you are and you're authentic and you love what you do, it comes across and I think you can even tell from the few minutes we've spoken that I really do believe in joyful exercise, and I find that it's a gift I need to give. And so the Today Show happened because I did a talk show in Chicago, and the producer, it was an NBC show, and the producer of the Today Show happened to see it and invited me to come. So it was really, really wonderful. And The View, and being on The View was super fun too, because those ladies are just such a kick. This was a while ago, and I was a couple months pregnant with my one and only beautiful daughter at the time. So it was fun to be on the show and be able to talk about how exercise during pregnancy. So different chapters, I'm almost 62 years old. So zestful aging is definitely my I like the name of your show because that's definitely a mantra of mine.
Clearly. And, I've watched your videos and you look like you're having fun and you just there's no place else you'd rather be. But in that chair, leading people of all shapes, sizes, and ages, and you're just like having a little party.
Good. Well, good. I think that I want to invite everybody to dance and to be fit and to be healthy. Like, it is a party. And I find that the greatest compliment my students, customers, members of different groups that I've worked with can say is that I'm laughing and smiling while I'm exercising. And and to me, there's no better compliment. And that is something that, during this chapter we are all sharing of being safer at home, as I like to call it, I have created another new chapter with the help of my beautiful 20-year-old daughter. She says, "Mom, you're going to need to learn to teach on Zoom." And I'm like, okay, first of all, what is Zoom? Okay, so we're talking now 16 weeks ago, right? And now I've become like the master of Zoom teaching.
So what you've moved online, obviously, because we all have. So you've switched again, or pivoted, as they say, and now you're doing this chair dancing online. Is that right?
Well, yes. I am no longer able to go and teach at conventions. Like, for example, this weekend, right now, I would have been in Niagara Falls as a speaker at the International Taking Off Pounds Sensibly convention. And I would have been teaching about the importance of all kinds of fitness. Now I want to also just take a moment and then we'll circle back to the Zoom teaching. What I know, and I say it very emphatically, I know as an aging person, is there are 3 distinct parts of fitness that we must engage in. Number one, of course, is to get our heart rate up, to circulate oxygen-rich blood throughout our body, and do aerobic or cardiovascular exercise. Very important. That's when people walk and they really do pump their heart rate up. I know you're a tennis player. You get some aerobic exercise from tennis. However, the other two aspects are super important too. And my favorite as a person who is aging is, and has the privilege of growing older, as I like to say, your strength must continue to stay the same or improve. So lifting weights and working on strength training is going to keep muscle on your body, because the natural part of aging is that your muscles begin to atrophy. And we really want to say, no, thank you to that. Because then, right? You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Well, what happens when our muscles atrophy? It causes us to change our metabolic rate, because we don't have as much muscle, which is our furnace of calorie and fat burning. And more importantly than that, our functional fitness, our ability to do things without any pain to our joints is going to diminish. So when people say to me, it hurts when I walk up and down stairs, I train people to use their large muscle groups, to strengthen their large muscle groups, so that they're not putting all that strain on their knees, their feet, their hips.
So it's a whole system. It's not just, if you do this program, you'll have 6-pack abs. It's really about taking care of the whole body. Am I getting that right?
Yes. I mean, I guess it's, we are motivated by the 6-pack. That's funny you said that, because the 6-pack abs. I think that vanity and looking a certain way may motivate some people. However, you and I both know that the motivation also needs to be, how do I feel before I start exercising, and how do I feel afterwards? So I ask my students to check in and say, sometimes you come to the Zoom class or you put on one of my DVDs and you go, I don't really feel like doing this. Okay, that's true. I'm glad you spoke your truth. But as soon as you start, and you feel that oxygen moving through your body, you do get that endorphin release, and you start feeling like you've got a smile on your face. Plus, we're goofy and we're dancing and we're smiley. So I really like people to feel the difference in their body. Now, there's one more thing I didn't get to, which is the flexibility and stretching and strengthening. So we have the cardiovascular, we have the strength training, and we also need to spend a little bit of time stretching our muscles and working on our range of motion as we age. And that's where my chair yoga and Simply Stretch programs came in. So I started again, you circled back and said, you started my fun career. This is 30 years that we're trying to put into less than 30 minutes. But I started as a dancer. And then as I aged and I became aware of the needs of myself and the people around me, I said, wait, we need to do dance aerobics, but wait, now we're going to do strength training. And hey, I've always stretched as a dancer. Let me get involved in teaching people how to stretch and do a yoga program. Now, what did my people say? We don't want to get on the floor and do ab crunches on the floor and do stretching on the floor. So I said, hey, we're going to do everything from a chair. Now, that would be a whole nother interview on, besides breaking my foot and getting the idea, how did I take this chair dancing fitness concept and move it into sort of a mass acceptance? And I consider myself a pioneer in the field of chair exercise and chair workouts. There's tons of it now out there, but I was definitely one of the first. And it's really needed as an alternative, Nicole. We know so many people that say, oh, I have trouble exercising because I have, sore feet, or my knees aren't so good, or they have trouble weight bearing. So I've completed this program. Okay. So now can I take you to, I'm like age 58 or 59, and I'm presenting at the AARP convention.
Okay.
And I've got people walking by that are probably my age, maybe a little bit older. They're in their 60s, their 70s. They're not in their 80s and 90s, but they're more the 60, 70-year-old, which I think is very much the target that my programs reach. And they were I felt ageism. They would say, "Oh, you have to sit down and exercise? We're not that old yet." And I went, "Oh, wait a minute. I'm not that old yet." So people are thinking of this chair idea. It was eye-opening. So again, can I use the word pivot, or is everybody going to scream? Okay, so
go ahead.
Go again. Let's use the other favorite buzz one. Let's reinvent again. So we reinvent again. And so now my new branding is on your seat or on your feet. And sit or stand. So I have 2 new programs that are on your seat or on your feet, aerobic dancing, and we exercise with light hand weights, little 1-pound hand weights, or paper plates. So people that are listening need to check out, why do we use paper plates? Or I say dance with plates or dance with weights. And that gives us an ability to strengthen our body and have something to do with our arms while we're doing some dance aerobics.
And these plates are pretty and colorful, and I thought they were Frisbees.
I mean, you're not the only one. The other thing that's hysterical to me is sometimes when I give out the plates at a convention, people will say to me, "Do these plates have weights in them? They feel like it." And it's just because you're using the air resistance. So it just gives me a giggle.
Like a sail, yeah.
Yes. Perfect. Yes. Perfect example. So, I have 3 fitness essentials that I just spoke with you about: the cardio aerobic, the strength training, and the yoga and stretching. And I offer through my DVD programs or downloads all of these. However, the teaching in person was not something I could keep doing when the stay safe at home order came in. So because of that, I started teaching for free. Okay, that's important because I want your listeners to just jump on Zoom.
That's right.
And we have a group of people, and I coined the word distance socializing. So while we are having to social distance, we are distance socializing. We have had such a cool group of people get together that, everybody doesn't come every time, but we've had people from South Africa, from Poland, our core group. We have Chicago and Kansas, and I'm here in California. So we have lots of Californians, and we have people from Canada. It's just British Columbia to Ontario.
All it has been the same place online.
Right. And so, really nice silver lining to this really odd chapter we're all sharing is that we've brought together this very interesting group of people, and we call it Friends, Fun, and Fitness. So I definitely want you to put my Zoom link in the show notes.
I will. I'm going to ask you at the end so we can make sure that we get everything in. Hello, Zesties. I want to tell you about one of my all-time favorite exercise and stress reduction tools, which I am really relying on during this quarantine. But I've sung its praises for years. The benefits are seemingly endless. It's great for toning and strengthening muscles. It improves your lymph system, your metabolism. It helps with joint pain and balance. And it's even used by NASA astronauts because it's such an efficient way to exercise. And if you're older or you're worried about your balance, you can order a stabilizer bar to hang on to. I'm talking about my NEDAC Rebounder mini trampoline. I put on my music and I have my own dance party. Because for me, exercise needs to be fun and invigorating. Otherwise, I don't want to do it. Now is not the time for the philosophy of no pain, no gain, because we're in enough pain. This is a way to feel good and energized and have fun. It really does help mood as well. And I like that NEDAC is made in the USA and it is really solid. I've had mine for 15 years and it's still in great shape. The NEDAC Rebounder will help us get through this quarantine in better shape mentally and physically. And there's also a model that folds up if space is an issue. One of my clients puts it on her driveway and uses it while she's watching her kids during the quarantine. Anyway, I can't recommend NEDAC rebounders enough. They are a worthwhile investment in your health and overall well-being, especially now. If you are interested in a mini trampoline, please don't buy a cheap one. Those can be actually dangerous, and it is really worth investing in a good quality one. And right now, if you use the coupon code just for Zestful Aging listeners, the code is Zestful, they are going to include a free cover for you. So go to needak.com. It's NEEDAK.com. And if you have any questions, you can contact me at zestfulaging.com. I really am their biggest fan. Talk also about, you talked about these 3 pillars of fitness, but I know that you also think a lot about mind-body connection.
Oh, yes. Okay. So you were saying how you are in the psychotherapy field. I have a master's in counseling psychology. And at the time that I got the degree, thank you, Mom and Dad, for pushing me in that direction, I really wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. But I specialized, like you did, in eating disorders and in the body image that we carry with us. And again, with my dance background, I really wanted to help other people see that exercising is a gift we give ourselves. It is not, oh, I ate something, as you've said, and I need to exercise, but rather it is our time. It is a special time where we are taking care of our body. So again, if you love to walking, if you love to dance, dancing. And if you're not sure what you love, that's where I think what I offer to people is that I give you a little bit of each of these important fitness essentials and I integrate it with mind and body. And something I introduced through my chair yoga that I've been doing with my Zoom class is to do a soothing massage at the end of the class. Ooh. So I have been teaching people to get some lotion nearby, and it's on my chair yoga. So I just do it live now with people. And, a lot of people who are living alone are not getting the essential touch that we all crave and need, the hugs and so forth. So we do we hug ourselves, we stretch our body by hugging ourselves, we get very heart-centered, and then I teach people that, we can use our thumbs and our fingers to reach behind our neck and then down through our shoulders. And my favorite one is I'll do it for you. So I hope you and your listeners will do it. Take the heel of your hand and put it above your eyebrows and stroke up and out gently over each eyebrow. And feel how that just relaxes your whole face and body. And this is the kind of way that I end class. I'm doing it. If my voice got quiet, it's because I'm doing it. As I'm explaining it, I'm doing it. So it's that feeling good from the exercise that is what's going to motivate people to do it and do it again and do it again. So if after you exercise you feel tired and sore and crummy, I don't think your chances of doing it again. You and I know behavior modification theory.
Right. There's no reinforcer there. Right.
If we don't have a reward and a reinforcement, we're probably not doing that again. Chocolate's a really good reinforcer. So I ask people to pay attention to how they're feeling afterwards, and especially when we end with relaxation and soothing self-massage. People in my classes and my customers that buy my DVDs all feel rewarded, and therefore they do it again. And that's the cycle that I want to teach people.
And your enthusiasm is contagious. Although that may not be the best word to use right now. In COVID.
I thank you, and I love that word, because you know what? We are filled all around us. There's this horrible, contagious virus going on. So what can we do? We can be contagious with goodness, kindness, a smile, laughter, And again, my greatest joy right now, it's hard to find joy right now. I'm right there, everybody's in this together. If anything has equalized all of us, it's this virus. We're all in this. So the joy that I have is that I love something. I love dance. I love fitness. I love helping people to enjoy what I share. So the fact that I'm able to share that and make a difference in somebody's life is a gift to me. And I am giving a gift, but I'm certainly getting a gift in return. So isn't that, to me, the best of the best?
And that's a definition, or one definition of legacy, right? That you are giving of yourself in ways you don't even know how that positive ripple effect will, right? I mean,
that's beautiful.
Would you say that's true? And then I think you're saying it's a gift to them, but it's also feeling really deeply satisfying to you.
Yes, absolutely. And again, I love to dance. I mean, I came into fitness because I was a dancer. I didn't decide I'm going to become a fitness instructor. But dance is my joy, and I happen to be tap dancing is my favorite, and ballroom dancing is my second favorite. So I can't do ballroom dancing right now because you can't really grab a partner. Well, if you're quarantining with them, I
you can
grab them. Grab that partner and dance with them. Yes, absolutely. But the tap dancing, it's just there's so much joy in it, and I'm still teaching kids over Zoom, and I remind them that they are very fortunate that they have something that they can do on their own that they love. And I'm trying to, again, distill that lifelong gift, that if there's something that you can be happy about, and again, what I'm talking about because you love to play tennis, you love to go on walks, everybody has their own love, but let's get back to the fact that zestful aging, it really does require us to keep our body healthy and our mind strong. So, small tangent, what happens when you're doing rhythmical exercise to music that has a pattern in it?
Ooh, tell me.
Well, what we know for sure is that we're bringing oxygen into our body, which also, of course, is oxygenating our brain. And we're trying to follow a pattern to music. So we are using all of that at the same time. So in order to have brain boosting health, we know that following a pattern to music while oxygenating the brain is the way to go. So again, what do I offer? I say to everybody, okay, here's our pattern. We're going to take our fists and we're going to pump them front, and we're going to pump them side. Now we're going to pump them up, and we're going to pump them down. Now we're going to do that in one count. Take them front and side and up and down, and front and side and up and down. And all of a sudden we might be in hysterics laughing because a lot of the group might go, oh my gosh, that just seems so easy to do, but my coordination isn't there. But what do I say? You can do it. We just have to repeat it and play with ourselves and not be hard on ourselves, but laugh, smile, and say that a simple pattern like take your arms front and side. I hope everybody's doing this while I'm chatting here. And up and down. Are you doing it, Nicole?
No, I'm not. What I'm doing is I'm thinking, I wonder how this translates to walking or tennis or kayaking or the things that I like to do. And I'm thinking with tennis, you have to be focused in a way that I dare say I'm not usually focused. So you're using your brain and attention skills while also reminding your body what to do. There's just a lot going on, and I'm just curious how it translates. But I'm also aware that dance is, if not the most beneficial way of exercising, it's certainly one of the top three from what I've seen of because of what you're saying. There's such coordination. You're using every bit of your all your cells to try to as you say, work out the pattern.
Yes, you are expressing that beautifully. That because you're training your brain to then talk to the rest of your body,
yes.
It's like, and I tend to say to people, sometimes the fastest pathway from your brain to your body or your brain to your feet is to use your speaking. And so I do a lot of say it out loud, take your arms front, take your arms side. So I'll say it with me, front and side and up and down. And we do it in rhythm, front and side and up and down. And then as people get the coordination, they are working on those neural pathways. That is huge. And we know, again, as we've been studying about the brain and aging, that we have neuroplasticity, that our brain can continue to stretch and develop, but it has to be worked out. So again, are you doing a crossword puzzle? Are you doing something that uses your brain that way? That's fantastic. However, the research clearly shows that if you're doing a rhythmical pattern, especially to music, while also oxygenating your brain, so dance with me, exercise with me. And when I say dance with me, I mean, it's all very doable. We do the cha-cha, touch, touch, cha-cha-cha, touch, touch,
and you're right on that edge of what's a little bit hard and challenging, but you're also not having them, solve a trigonometry problem at the same time. So it's just a reach out of what I know and I've mastered, and that's where people report being the most happy.
Oh, yes. Oh, well said. And by design, I work very carefully and do test my programs before I commit them to a DVD or downloadable structure that a customer is going to buy and do over and over again. I say, okay, it has to be just challenging enough to keep people interested and not get too frustrated that they give up on it. So I walk that fine line. And again, if you buy the DVD or the download, so what you have is you have the repetition of, I can put that on and I get better at it. And boy, that feels good. Like it yesterday, really I could barely do that. And today or next week, I've mastered it. That's happiness. That is
such a deep, and it's not the kind of giddiness we may have had when we got our driver's license or maybe went to the prom, but people describe it as this deep sense of profound satisfaction. It just, and it's the same I find with knitting too, doing a pattern that's just a little bit too hard for me and then figuring it out, you feel like $1,000,000.
Yes. And again, it's always true, but now during this time when we just have to find those simple, wonderful moments where we can feel our best and get some sort of feedback that says, yes, we've accomplished something. So, it is a gift and the message that I know you give through your work, and I appreciate it so very much, and that I certainly ditto and give through my work, is that exercise is a gift that we give ourselves. Exercise should not be looked at as I have to, but I want to. And if we make it playful and if we make it fun and satisfying and a feel good, then indeed it becomes something that people look forward to doing as opposed to dreading, because I laugh when every time you say if it has boot camp in it. You're running the other way with me. I'm running there with you. Oh no, excuse me. I'm not running. I'm fast walking. I don't run.
Speed running. Well, and what we know is that joy is health promoting. And so it's just sort of a circle here. The better you feel, the more you want to do things that are health promoting, the better you feel. And so as you started saying, it's very reinforcing because fun feels good and we're just deprived of it right now. And this is such a lovely opportunity for people. And I'm really taken by the fact that you're offering, at least now, these free programs. Maybe now's a good time to tell our audience who are listening from all over the world where they can find out more about you and the chair dancing fitness.
Well, thank you. Well, it's that easy. You just said chair dancing fitness. So either just Google chair dancing fitness or put your www in front of that and your .com after it. So you've got www.chairdancingfitness.com, and you will find all kinds of information, including some little short free workouts you can do on the website. And if you go to the virtual CDF fitness page, so on the website, then you'll see the Zoom links. Okay. And everybody can just pop on Zoom. I'm also doing Facebook Live. I'm very active on Facebook. So if people want to get involved, they can follow me on it's Chair Dancing Fitness DVDs, Exercise Made Simple. Okay. Just put, again, if you just put in Chair Dancing Fitness it'll Facebook. Pop up. Okay. But I'm active because I do it live also, because I don't mind if people don't put their camera on Zoom, because some people don't want to. And I don't mind at all if they want to do it on Facebook instead, because it just feels a little different, or maybe it's an easier technology for some people. But again, just to do it. Now, I have one more comment, as I know our time is getting short. So your program, love the name Zestful Aging. So, if we were looking for the fountain of youth, the best thing the closest we found to it is to stay active, body and mind and spirit. So you've said it already. I'm just reinforcing it one more time for your listeners and for all of us to keep in mind that if we do exercise, we have found the closest thing to the fountain of youth, because the better we feel, the more we can do, the more we can engage in the fullness of life. And exercise is something that is very doable. And if you have trouble with it, that's what I want to show people, is that if you're sitting down, that's fine. The chair is your platform that you are exercising from. It doesn't mean I can't do something else, or I'm too out of shape, or, all these negative things that people might say. For 30 years, I've been saying it's not easier sitting down. It's only a solution for people who mean well to exercise, but are having some difficulty due to some physical limitations, or even psychological limitations, whether it's a fear of falling. So we talk about how we can strengthen our body, whether we're sitting or standing. It doesn't matter. And my favorite thing to say right now, especially, you don't even have to put shoes on for this exercise. Barefoot.
Come as you are. I love it.
I go into my offices. I have a studio as well for the tap dancing, but for the chair dancing, I'm doing it in my office, which has this nice soft carpet, and I'm doing it barefoot. And I'm like, I'm starting to like this working from home thing. I don't even have to put shoes on.
I hear ya.
Yeah, we're
right there with you.
We're trying to find the positive in the. Some people see this as all gloom and doom, and there's some gloom and doom. We're not living in la la land here, but there's also some positive and good silver linings. And a silver lining to me has been meeting you, Nicole, and I love your listeners to come on Zoom and say, I heard you on Zestful Aging, and I'm here. So
that would be wonderful. People. I am loving what you do, Jodi. You're such a light, and I really appreciate sort of the acceptance and the it's not scary. It's like, look, come in, do it. It's fun. Do what you can do. This isn't about, pushing yourself and who looks good in a spandex, whatever, capris or whatever. This is just about, we're doing good things for our body. We're doing it together, and we're doing an atmosphere that's so lovely. And I just give you a lot of credit, and I was so pleased to have you on today. It's been delightful, and I've learned a lot.
Thank you. You're just delightful, and I really am appreciative of having the opportunity to tell people, yes, you can exercise, and it's not going to be intimidating or scary, and you just might even smile or laugh while you're doing it. So that is a gift you and I are giving together right now to your listeners, and I'm so very grateful that we found each other, and I hope you'll jump on and try it with me too.
I have plans to.
Oh my gosh, I would be starstruck.
Oh, stop it.
Oh no, Nicole's on. Oh my gosh.
You better put your shoes on.
Oh no, I'll just make sure my toes are painted. Haha.
I love it. Jodi Stolove, you are wonderful. Thank you so much. And again, it's chairdancingfitness.com. All of these links will be in the program notes. And it is something we can do for ourselves right now and to feel better in both our mental, our emotional, and our physical selves. So it is definitely something worth looking into. Thank you, Jodi.
Oh, thank you for having me as a guest, and it was just a delight to spread joy with you.
Thank you so much for joining us on Zestful Aging. If you like the podcast, please share it with some of your friends. I love to hear from my listeners. Send me an email at NicoleChristina.com. It's no secret that everyone's feeling pretty restless and unsettled right now. Our lives are upside down and the future is feeling pretty uncertain. But if you're anything like me, organizing my stuff can help me feel a little calmer. It's something I can do to help me feel a little more in control and in charge of my own life. If you think decluttering could help you feel better and you could use a little assistance with that, check out the online course I've developed with professional organizer and designer Carrie Luderin. It's called Too Much Stuff. And Too Much Stuff is different from other courses or articles or guidance you may have used up. We give you clear steps to deal with the clutter and the tools to help you face the overwhelming feelings and the emotions that come up when we're going through our clutter. And a lot of those emotions are just feeling anxious or guilty or just basically flooded with a lot of different confusing feelings. The course is really practical. It's realistic. The lessons are short and punchy, and they're really manageable. We're not trying to set you up for some long exploratory, super in-depth, burdensome experience. We want something really helpful for you right now. We all need help with our anxiety. So being surrounded by more calm and less chaos can really help. So now's a good time to clear out the clutter so we can focus on what's really important in our lives. So find out more at zestfulaging.com. You'll see more about this under the web courses tab. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email at zestfulaging@gmail.com. Thanks so much. And stay tuned next week for another interview with a fascinating and inspiring guest.